There we go. You were talking a little bit earlier about your life as a hunter. Mm-hmm. And you said you were a hunter because you're the firstborn. Tell me a little bit about that and about the kind of respect that you show for the animals that you hunt.
I was the firstborn, and there was pretty much my grandfather, my mother, and I. And being the firstborn, I had to go and hunt and trap and fish and things like that for our fundamental survival. And because it's all done in a spiritual and fundamentally spiritual way, because every animal that we take is held in very high regard, and we only take what we need when we need it. And I hunted, I got caribou in my life, but it's nothing to brag about for me. It's not in our way to do that, because for me to go out and get a caribou was very, very hard work. I had to go on my snowshoes, I had to hunt it down, and then when I skinned it out and took care of it, I take a piece of the heart, the caribou's heart, a very sacred piece of the heart, and I put it up in a tree so that I can share the spirit of the caribou, so that the caribou's heart can continue to beat. And also we take off the head of the caribou so that the spirit is released immediately. Those are all very, very sacred things, and I don't eat any of the meat until I get home and it's shared amongst everybody in camp. That's how it's done. And it's because we need the food. The caribou blood runs thick through my blood as it does the rest of my people. And it's a very sacred way, and the caribou is given to us, has given itself to us so that we can continue to live. And so, we don't brag about hunting. We don't. It's not to show that we're tough or anything. I mean, I think it's silly actually when people do that, and very unspiritual. So, and further to that, my people never liked to engage in big game hunting at all. The Gwich'in people have stayed away from that. We don't engage in big game hunting of the porcupine caribou herd. So it's because of our very strong connection to our caribou and how sacred those animals are to us as a people. And so,
when I asked you about Sarah Palin, you didn't mention her name, but I sensed a little heat when you were talking about her.
Well, Sarah Palin is all for big oil. She's for making money. She's for getting a lot of personal attention. She's for bragging about hunting or trying to come out tough. To me, that's I find that frivolous actually. There's basic little concern that I ever hear for the indigenous peoples who are actually struggling to deal with climate changes. Our food sources are declining at a very rapid rate. The salmon is going down, the moose, the caribou, and the Arctic animals are declining at a very fast rate. And this is our mainstay. This is our life. And I don't hear any concern about the future for food security for the indigenous peoples of the Arctic, as well as the other people in Alaska and the rest of America. I don't hear that. And food security is an issue, will be a big issue in the next few years. And I think what we need to do, especially as mothers and as women, is start paying attention to how we're going to make sure that there is food on our table for the future of our children, for our children, for our future. Those are the concerns that I have. And it's in the last 23 years that I've been traveling to the United States, I have seen tremendous changes with respect to our ecosystems. Our wetlands, America's second biggest wetlands that I live on, I'm Gwich'in from Crow Flats in northern Canada. We have thousands of lakes. This is America's second biggest wetland, and it's drying. With it are all the animals, all the birds that come from all over the world are not coming there anymore. So this is a huge concern for me, to develop more oil and more gas so fast and it will burn more tar sands and will cause more climate change. And this is very serious. Are we that serious about our lives with the future? I mean, as women, I think we really need to look at that. Be mothers as who we are, you know, and look for the future and make sure that foundation is strong for our future.